All right, welcome back, guys, to the Run It Back podcast. This is the third episode for the postseason in F1. I am your host, Joy, and alongside with me is my partner in crime, Wes. How you doing today, Wes?
Hi, Joey. Hi, Running Back Nation. I'm good. I'm still adjusting to life without Formula One. It's forgive my language, but it's quite fucked up. But it's okay.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
we're we're living one day at a time.
yeah. It's interesting because I actually started to dive into DTM and MotoGP recently. Just like watch you know, the libraries of like videos that they have on their YouTube channel. So yeah, it's very interesting. Been an interesting week.
Yeah, man. It's actually interesting you say that because I was thinking about picking up another racing series myself,
Yeah.
and I finally zeroed in on one.
Mm.
It's quite FIA popular, much like your series, DTM and MotoGP, but I'm digging into WRC.
Oh, okay.
And so, yeah, little fun fact about me, I love the car anime slash manga series, Initial D. So basically, mountain pass racing in Japan. So if
Right.
you've seen like any Keiichi Tsuchiya highlights on YouTube. That's basically it, but in animation form. And Rally is literally the closest thing to it.
Right.
So that's kind of what's gravitating my attention towards it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And if I could, like, I probably could, but like World Rallycross is probably one that I'm waiting to get into. But yeah, yeah, I'm excited for you, man.
Well, I'm excited for you too. You're all about that lean. I'm all about that slide. So uh, yeah, or Dori Dori, as they say in
Right.
Japanese,
Right.
when they're addressing Drift King, Keiichi Tsuchiya.
Yeah. I just want the viewer. I just want to let the viewers know that we actually have a quite a short episode this week. We're just gonna cover, the hot laps. So we're gonna get straight into the hot laps, and then we'll do a little bit of trivia, just to test our own knowledge of Formula One. See if it's worth even listening to us. No, I'm just playing. I think it is worth listening to us. We probably don't know the very details of Formula One. But yeah, let's dive it in. Let's dive into it. Biggest news this week, I would say, is probably like Alex Albon going to DTM right after.
Speaking of devil, you were just talking about it.
Right, absolutely, yeah. So yeah, I'm excited. I actually watched one season of DTM when BMW rejoined DTM, and in the first season they won it with Andrea Seidel, which is the team principal of McLaren right now. So yeah, I'm glad. Of course, DTM has had some changes over the past couple years, with the introduction of Honda and Nissan, and the departure of Honda and Nissan, and the departure of Mercedes. So now it's BMW versus Audi. But yeah, nevertheless, I'm still excited. These are, the racing in these cars are like incredible, and they're pretty close. And so, from what I remember, and we sometimes, I do miss it, but hopefully sometime in the next season we do get that Super GT versus the DTM series.
Now, question I want to ask you, Joy, about DTM because I'm
What's up?
not too versed in it. Is it a lot like endurance racing where it's two or three or even four separate groups and they're racing against each other? Or not racing against each other, but like they're racing against each other, but they have their own class. And
Right,
depending on what class you're in, it's more important to win your class. But if you're actually at the top,
right.
it's important to win not only your class but also overall. Is it like that?
Yes, it is. So no, no,
Okay.
no. No, no, no. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Like it's actually just like Formula One. There is no class like in between.
okay.
So it's actually like
Okay.
but it is a spec series. So yeah, I think they have to be quite similar to each other, like all the cars. Much like Super GT 500, but the teams do have the power to kind of develop over like the off season, and kind of make, but they still do have strict rules within the cars. Now I'm not sure what it is now. Like I said, it has taken into multiple forms. But yeah, I mean, like I believe, yeah, the last time I saw it, it was just all one class of cars, and if I'm wrong, you could definitely correct me in the comments to anyone listening. But yeah, I mean, regardless, I think this is a good opportunity for Alex Albon. You know, of course, probably the next best series that I would have picked for him was either Super Formula. Of course, he can't go back to Formula 2 since he's joined Formula 1 already. And so I would have liked to see him in Super Formula, but DTM is also quite a challenging. I only say that because Alex Albon has never raced in GT cars, so it'll be interesting how he could kind of integrate himself into the series.
Yeah, when I heard the news about Albon going to a DTM, I tried to literally find a reason for me to be surprised, but I'm not.
Right.
Because, like I said in previous podcasts, he is a very capable racing driver,
Mm,
a lot better than what people are willing to give him credit for.
absolutely.
And, for him to find a home at DTM, despite everything going on right now, despite it being 2021, there's still a pandemic. There's still going to be a lot of money lost in any kind of business,
Right.
this included, for Red Bull and everyone else involved to find a seat for him somewhere. That's good.
Right.
Yeah, it would be interesting to also see him in Super GT. I don't agree with you in the Super Formula
Okay.
recommendation, by the way, Joy, just because Super Formula is very similar to Formula 2.
Right.
And in modern times, it would be very hard to see a Formula One capable driver dropping a division,
Mm.
right? Unlike Super GT and DTM,
Yeah.
from what I understand, it's sports cars, so you can't really compare sports cars and
Well, yeah,
open
yeah,
wheel.
yeah. That's part of what I was saying is that usually uh, drivers that retire that have had about 10 years under Formula One, they usually join Super GT and they usually join DTM. So it'll be interesting to see Alex in his he's still so young and he still has a lot to learn, but I think this could definitely give him he could learn a lot of skills. He could develop a lot of skills, and he could learn so many new things just by how GT cars are so much more different from Formula One cars. So yeah, I'm super excited.
Absolutely. I feel that it'll give him some kind of psychological relief,
Right,
right? Because DTM is not as polarizing as Formula One,
right,
you could kind of just be like, okay, no pressure. Let's try and make the best of the situation. And chances are, if I'm able to do well enough to where there's a significant gap or a sizable gap between myself and the regular DTM drivers, it could convince not only just Red Bull, but also anyone else looking for a driver in 2022 on the
right,
Formula One grid to say, hey, let's take a flyer on Alex Albon,
right.
right? And at that point, he'll still come for the cheap.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And you know, it's like you said, right? It really depends on the rest of the Red Bull Racing stable, right? Maybe Helmut Marko and Christian Horner, if Gasly goes somewhere else, if Yuki Tsunoda is doing really well, and he goes somewhere else, or any of those drivers that go anywhere else, and Alex is there, he's got experience. He may not have the confidence at the moment, but I think he can build that in DTM. So yeah, I'm just excited to see. The current champion right now is Rene Rast. So I haven't really heard of Rene Rast in DTM, I will admit. So, but yeah,
I do want to ask one more thing,
what's up?
and that is, Oh, I am under the impression that Red Bull has a
Team.
customer team in
Yes.
DTM, right? And
Yes.
I wonder who's powering them. Is it is it I don't know, Audi or
The last time I checked, the last time I saw DTM, it was Audi that that held Red Bull sponsorship. Helmut Marko did say that they don't know which car he will drive, so through that it sounds like they don't know. It's probably still Audi, but they just don't know which Audi car he would be driving. But yeah, it's gonna be, yeah. Like I mean, the last time I checked, it was Audi, so I think they still have that partnership with Audi.
okay. No, yeah, it's something to be excited about, and I think Joy, you can be our official correspondent there for DTM and following around Alex Albon as he tries to get back into the main seats of Formula One via DTM.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, and yeah, I'm interested now. Now I'm really pumped for DTM this upcoming season. But yeah, uh, yeah, moving on. So a little bit more of a Formula One news. Australian GP likely to be postponed. So keyword there is postponed, right? I mean, obviously, it's a great place to start. I think Australian Grand Prix. Like the Australian Grand Prix has always it didn't give us the best of racing, but I think it's a good track. For a sample size, because yeah, it's not a good track for racing. Albert Park doesn't have a lot of corners where you could overtake, but it's still a fast street circuit. So yeah, it's incredible. So, but yeah, I'm gonna miss it if we're gonna start at Bahrain. It's okay. I like Bahrain, so yeah.
Well, for me,
Mm.
the first thing that came to my mind when I started hearing the news about the postponement or potential postponement of the Australian GP was like, oh, not again.
Yeah.
And I'm not head over heels over Albert Park. I will
Right.
say that, but
Yeah.
of course, when it's already embedded in your head that it's
Mm.
the first race of the season, you're kind of anticipating it, right?
Right.
And now your mindset now has to adjust to the whole start of the season being in Bahrain,
Right.
because they're looking to do testing there too.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So
Which is
yeah,
yeah. I mean, Bahrain doesn't. Bahrain is a is a good circuit. I actually really like the circuit.
hmm
Albert Park, like I said, I think it is a good you know sampler for the season, for the start of the season. It's like I said, it's a street circuit, so it's a little bit more slippery than what drivers are used to when conditioned tracks, tracks that have been raced multiple times, like throughout the course of a year. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna miss it. It's usually bright and sunny in Australia whenever we go there. I don't remember the last time it was raining in Australia when we went there. So I mean, in Formula One, but yeah, like I'm devastated. I do like Australia. It's such a beautiful country. But like I said, I think it's the Albert Park is a little bit more of a sampler size than it is. This is one of the biggest tracks that you have to win in.
oh, absolutely. And a part of me feels like if Australia was supposed to be round one for this season, we would have seen the other Orange Sea or
Yeah.
whatever, Orange Army, I mean. So like in
Yeah.
Red Bull Ring, the Orange Army's generally max, but
Right.
now, or what should have been now, the
Oh,
Orange Army would be
the
Daniel.
right. Exactly. But yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like it. Obviously, when you take away um, a country or an entire continent that pretty much hosts a Grand Prix, I mean, you kind of take away the driver who's representing that country, kind of, you know, not away, but it does feel like it does feel like they don't get to, you know, get that appreciation that they get from the fans. And I remember Ricardo saying that because he is the only Australian driver in the grid for now, he gets that tenfold. He gets the attention tenfold, and he loves it. He loves his adoring fans, and it would have been interesting to see the Orange Army, cheering for Daniel in a McLaren instead of the Orange Army in, like in Europe, cheering for Max. So
Yeah, but hey, Bahrain Grand Prix, it's shown us a good racing,
right.
so I don't mind. At the end of the day, as long as we get Formula One racing for 2021 and perhaps a slightly extended calendar, I
Mm.
don't see I don't see what's wrong.
I wouldn't mind if they brought back Adelaide instead of Albert Park, but I don't think like it's more about the restrictions of the COVID in, so traveling in, so and then traveling out, so it gets quite
Exactly.
complicated. So yeah, I mean, like I said, it's postponed. Hopefully, it doesn't get canceled. Hopefully, it just gets moved towards the back of the season. I mean, this is going to be a logistics nightmare for Formula One teams, West.
No, it will be, and it'll also be interesting because the weather will then play a role in it too.
Absolutely.
Because Australia, man, I don't know if they have winters there. And forgive my ignorance there, but from what I've understood, Australia's hot
It's hot,
and then
and it gets hotter.
freaking hot.
It gets hotter. Exactly. So yeah, I mean, obviously, Formula One teams are well equipped to for the logistics challenge. I'm excited to see if like where they place it, if it's gonna be towards the end of the season. If we do get a Brazilian Grand Prix, and then we have to travel all the way around the world just to go to Australia for the Australian Grand Prix. I think that'll be interesting to see logistically how they approach that season or
Sure.
that weekend to weekend. So yeah.
I
Anyway,
mean, I will
yeah.
say that the slot that was going to be taken by Vietnam is technically still open.
Yeah, absolutely. It's technically still open, and then uh, I heard Shanghai was. I mean, yeah, like it was in jeopardy. We're losing. We might lose Shanghai as well. I'm not sure if that's
I mean,
you
if
know.
that's the case, then it's going to be like 2020 all over again,
I mean, hey, if
where
if we get back Imola and if we get back Portugal and Nurburgring, I'm down for it.
Nürburgring,
I'm
yes
down for
sir,
it.
and our home Grand Prix too, if we can have it, but we'll see.
We will see. We'll see. But yeah, so let's move on to the segment. We call it the fun stuff. You, everyone listening to this can help us kind of rename the segment. Anything probably Formula One related or any kind of inside jokes that probably have in the
Or even
show.
fun stuff. I mean,
Just fun stuff. Absolutely. So Wes, you and I will take a quiz uh, for Drive Tribe. It is
oh boy.
it's the 2020 Drive Tribe quiz part 2. And
Okay.
so pretty much how this is going to go is that I'm going to say the name or the question. I'm going to ask the question and then we both have to answer it. I'll even give it's multiple choice. So we do have a chance here somewhat. But are you ready, Wes?
Okay. Let's do this.
All right, and anyone who is listening, or anyone who is listening, if you want to take the quiz, don't take it after we do it because then I'm gonna have to say the answers. But take it before us, and then see how you do. Test your own knowledge of Formula One. But yes, are you ready, Wes?
Yes, let's go.
Okay, Wes. First question: when was Formula One founded? Uh, You give your answer, and I'll give my answer, and then we could.
Well, you said it was multiple choice, Joy. You
Oh
might as well
yeah,
give me
oh,
the
yeah, true, true,
choices
true.
too.
I'm sorry. Uh, First choice is 1990, and then we have 1939, and then 1950. and then 1940.
Uh, 1950.
Correct. 1950 it is. So Formula One was founded in 1950, and I'm I forgot who won the first one. I think it's Farina, but we'll see. Okay, which circuit hosted the first Formula One race? Is it A, Silverstone, B, Monaco, C, Monza, or D, Hungaroring? Ooh.
Oh my God.
I actually don't know this one, Wes. I'm tempted to say Silverstone, only because Formula
Yeah,
One.
I'm leaning towards Silverstone, and I'm not
Yeah,
gonna change my answer. I don't care if I'm wrong.
yeah. Well, yeah. I think it's Silverstone. But let's see. It is Silverstone. Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
My favorite track in the whole wide world, Silverstone.
You know who doesn't like Silverstone? Left tires, left front tires.
Oh, I was gonna say anybody not named Lewis Hamilton.
Oh, well, yeah, that too, that too. Okay, cool, cool. And then third question: who was the first driver to win the World Drivers' Championship? I was just saying this. But A. So the choices are A. Giuseppe Farina, B. Juan Melo Fangio, C. Pedro Rodriguez, and D. Alberto Ascari. Um, who do you think
I'll
it
go
is,
with
Wes?
Fangio.
Okay, you'll go with Fangio. I think it's actually Giuseppe Farina. I
Okay.
remember Fangio won the second one. I don't think he won the first one. It could be Alberto Ascari. I'm not really sure though. I think I'll go with Farina. You're going with Fangio?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah. We
we're in
have an
this as a
unwritten
team,
rule where,
right?
well, yeah, but since Joy is our lead host here, he gets to overrule me.
Okay,
So
okay. All
go
right,
ahead, Joy. Go with
Giuseppe
Farina. Let's
Farina.
see what happens.
Oh, it was correct. It was correct. So yeah,
Nice.
his teammate was actually Juan Manuel Fangio, but he did beat. He did win the first world championship. Okay.
See what happens when you have two of the best drivers on the same team. I discussed this in the last week's episode.
Exactly, and then
All
next
right.
year he wins. You know, the other driver wins it. So, but yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, okay. So, what's the name of the Alfa Romeo F1 car winner of the first Formula One race? Oof. Okay, it's okay.
uh, okay.
I'm not really good with car names in Formula One, but okay. The first choice is Alfa Romeo 146, Alfa Romeo 50, Alfa Romeo 130, or Alfa Romeo 158. I I have zero clue, Wes. I don't unless you know what the current Alfa Romeo is called right now. I have no clue. I have a feeling it's
130.
somewhere.
130 sounds good.
I had a feeling it's 130. The Italians like to put huge numbers in their car names. So, all right, 130. I think it's a consensus. Okay. Oh, we got it wrong. It's the
That's all
Alfa
right.
Romeo 158, which doesn't make any sense, but probably 158 horsepower. But okay.
Probably
Uh,
doesn't make sense to us, but it makes sense to them.
all right.
All right.
In which line are countries that hosted a Formula One race? Wait, what? Wait, in which are countries? Oh, okay. In which line are countries that hosted a Formula One race? Took me a while to understand that question, but okay. The first choice is Argentina, Mexico, Norway, or Denmark. Uh, choice number two, Luxembourg, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, um, China, Japan, and South Korea. C, we have Germany, Monaco, Italy, Italia, Spain, Brazil, Belgium, England, Russia, and D, USA, Finland, Portugal, Switzerland, Sweden.
So by line, they mean like
Yeah, which
they've had races
countries?
before.
Yes, yes, they've hosted races before. Yes.
C,
Yeah, it's C.
right?
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, it is C. Yeah, yeah. there's ones there that are close. But
Although Finland sounds realistic, I'm not gonna lie.
Finland does sound realistic, but it'd probably be a
And then I
rally.
think,
It'd
and
probably
then
be
I
a
think,
rally stage.
what didn't South Korea hold one at one point?
They did. But
But Saudi Arabia is the one that threw it away
Saudi
for them
Arabia was the one
for
that
that
threw it away.
line.
Argentina, Mexico, and I think Norway has held one, or Denmark has held one, but they've never held one in Norway. So yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Only one wrong, Wes. So we're doing good. Okay. Which Formula One circuit
Okay.
was part of the F1 race during the Soviet regime? Ooh. Okay.
Okay.
Is it Shanghai International Circuit? B. Hungaroring. C. Istanbul Park. And D. Sochi Autodrome. Now, let's put our thinking caps here. Formula One started in 1950, right? And what countries did Soviet Russia control that could have?
My gut feeling is Hungaroring because Sochi I think is a newer track.
Yeah, Sochi is a newer track,
So
and I don't think we had a Shanghai Grand Prix back then. I think Shanghai is pretty new, and they're definitely not in a Soviet regime. So, Istanbul Park. Ooh, ah, man, Turkey. Like, I don't know if
I'm going with Hungaroring
Okay, I'm going with you. I'm going with you because
because Hungaroring's pretty old
yeah. So
too.
yeah. So I'll go with you. I'll go with you. I trust you. Hey, you got it correct. Yeah, it's the only
Oh,
circuit that has been
sweet.
part of the F1's calendar in Soviet regime today. Wow, I didn't even know that. Good job, Wes. That's that
Yeah.
geography skills.
Dun, 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 dun,
Okay,
dun, dun.
which two F1 circuits are the longest? Okay, but we have to pick two of all these ones that they give us. Okay, so the choices are Nurburgring, Pescara, Spa-Francorchamps, Valencia Street Circuit, Korea International Circuit, Suzuka, and Circuit Paul Ricard. So I mean, I think one is already there, right? The Nurburgring is pretty long. Even the Grand Prix track is pretty long.
Mhm.
But I'm tempted to say Spa as well, right? Because Spa is the longest one today, like right now, that's currently in the Formula One calendar. I'm not kind of sure if it's Nurburgring, the Grand Prix track. I mean, if it was the Nordschleife, of course.
Right.
But I think they're talking about the Grand Prix track. So, which two do you think? I've never seen
Ooh.
Valencia. I've never seen Korea. I've seen Suzuka. It doesn't seem quite as far or long. Paul Ricard could be pretty long if you don't enjoy it. Oof.
What are the choices again?
Nurburgring, Pescara, Spa, Valencia, Korea, Suzuka, and Paul Ricard.
Whichever one has Spa in it.
Okay, so one is Spa. What's the other one? It's the two.
Uh,
Yeah, the two longest circuits.
oh, it's two.
Yeah,
Uh, I would say Nurburgring.
Nurburgring. Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Spa and Nurburgring. Oh, it's Nurburgring and Pescara.
Okay.
So I guess Spa
Dang.
was one of the longest ones today, but back then probably Pescara was quite. I don't actually don't know where Pescara is. So okay, next question. Renault F1 team is famous for using it for the first time. What engine? Is it A, the turbocharged engine, B, the hybrid engine, C, the electric engine, or D, the diesel engine? And so, Wes, they're actually showing us a picture from I think the 1980s Renault, the yellow Renault, the yellow, white, and black Renault. Do you have any idea which engine for I think Renault? I have a pretty good idea, but I want to know your
I
thoughts.
would like to say turbocharged.
I agree. I think it is the turbocharged engine. I think that's when they held like. And yes, it is a turbocharged engine. Wow.
Well, yeah, because also
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I remember
hybrid,
watching a
electric, and
video.
diesel.
Well, diesel sounds okay, but like I
Right, right.
remember there was this video I watched where Nick tried to explain Ayrton Senna's blipping through the corner.
Hmm.
And when he was with Lotus, I think Lotus was a Renault powered car.
Hmm.
And then they explained that that car was turbocharged.
Ah. Okay.
And
Okay.
that in order to not lose the power as he was going through the turn, he had to blip the throttle so he doesn't so he minimizes the lag.
Ah. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I remember Renault making the first turbocharged engine in, or making their first entry with Renault, and then that pretty much prompted the Ayrton Senna era, of the turbocharged engines V6. So yeah, great job, Wes. Okay, next question. In 1979, Dijon, French Grand Prix. What happened? Okay, okay. First choice, we got the two drivers didn't win on home ground. B, Jean Pierre Jabouli winning the French Grand Prix with a French car with a French engine. Okay. C, two cars had engine problems, which it seems quite normal. And D, Rene Arnoux wins the French Grand Prix against Gilles Villeneuve. Now, I don't know when Rene Arnoux and Gilles Villeneuve were racing. I don't think it's 1979. Well, it might, it actually might have been, but I don't think it was in Dijon when they were. I remember this battle between them, but like well, oh no, I can't. I don't want to say that because they probably are from two different eras. But I do remember Gilles Villeneuve battling someone. I don't think it's Dijon though. What do you think?
Joy, I think I disagree with you, man. I would like to say because I find French people really interesting. I find their racing really, really mind stimulating. I think the two drivers didn't win.
Okay, okay, on home ground.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, that's also a couple years of watching Grosjean and Ocon not do anything. So I don't know.
I was about to say
Chances
like
are,
it sounds pretty normal.
chances are, chances are that is I could be right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's probably a pattern over the centuries, but I think actually, yeah, I still think it's Jean-Pierre Jabouille winning the French Grand Prix with a French car and a French engine. But let's go with yours. It's probably the more likely
Oh
choice,
my God.
right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
Let's
let's
give it
see.
a shot.
Oh, okay.
No.
It was uh, Jean-Pierre winning in a French Grand Prix with a French car and a French engine, which I mean, I guess at that time it was a big deal because Renault wasn't that strong. I mean, they're still not strong today, but yeah, they weren't the powerhouse that they used to be. So, but yeah. Okay, so next question was the Monaco Grand Prix in 1996 is famous for what? Olivier Panis scored his one and only Formula One victory for the Ligier
Second
team.
one. Second one.
It's the race with a It's the race with the that set the record for the fewest cars, three, to be running at the end of the Grand Prix. Damon Hill, Schumacher, and Mika Hakkinen battled for first place. Rubens Barrichello set the fastest lap of the seas. Ooh. So you said it's the second one. It's the
I
race.
think it's the second one.
I agree with you. The image that's showing us, it seems like it was a wet track, so it probably could have been the fewest. So let's go with your choice. Oh, it's actually multiple choice. Wes, so
So we could pick more than one answer.
yes.
First and second.
Ooh. Oh, okay. I see that. I like that deduction that there was only 3 cars that were running. Therefore, it was a back marker team that finishes. But yeah, let's see. Oh, hey. Well done, Wes. So Olivier Panis scored his one and only Formula One victory with Ligier, and the race set the record for the fewest cars to be running at the end of the Grand Prix.
Haha,
Great
I
job,
am
Wes.
Formula One. Yo soy Formula Uno. Je suis Formula E.
All right, all right, cool. Ooh,
Or I don't know. Watashi wa Formula One. I don't know.
all right. To
Okay.
to the listeners, it's actually showing us a picture of a car, um, that is from the Stone Age, and it's saying
Oh,
what
come
F1
on.
car is this? Um, the choices are Brabham, Lancia, Maserati, and Porsche. Now, I think there's a couple that we could scratch off here. It's definitely not Porsche. Porsche didn't really compete, I think, back then in Formula One. Lancia, I don't think. I think they did compete it, but they weren't very notable. It's either Maserati or Brabham.
I'm going with Brabham.
Okay. You're going with Brabham. Do you think that's
Yes.
Brabham himself driving that car?
Possibly.
It could be Brabham. Okay, I'll go with you. I think it's a Maserati, but we'll see. It's a Porsche.
Ah, it's a
Wow. Oh,
Porsche.
wow. Okay, so in 1962, Porsche made its only race season in F1 driven by Dan Gurney and Givent. The team its only win. Oh, wow.
Can I
Okay.
ask who's writing these questions? Because the
Uh,
spelling is quite interesting.
yeah, yeah, it is quite interesting, but it is from Lazar
Okay,
Lazarov.
I'll give Lazar Lazarov
Yeah, let's
a
give him a break.
break.
These are good questions though. Okay, cool. In in the 2012 in the 2012 season, Sauber got a new sponsor. Who was that sponsor?
Come on, you Blues, Chelsea FC.
You think so? Okay,
Yeah.
wait. Okay, well let's see. So Telcel, Chelsea FC, NEC, and Claro, which is weird because
Okay, you're not
Telcel,
pronouncing that first one right. It's Telecel.
Telecel. Okay.
I learned that in Spanish class. Shout out to Roosevelt High School,
Well, that's the thing. Like
Spanish, a language department.
in 2012, Sauber. Oh no, I don't think Sergio Perez was in 2012 Sauber, was he? But that's the
No, it
thing.
was
Like,
I thought 2012. He was no, he was like, or maybe
yeah,
because McLaren.
because those are
I
all
think
of his
2012.
sponsors, right? So Telecel, NEC, and Claro. But I do think it is Chelsea. I think Chelsea did sponsor a Formula One team.
It was. I can tell you it's Sauber, but I'm maybe 70% sure about the year, but I'm 100% sure that
It's a,
Chelsea FC had their badge on the car,
okay. Okay.
which
Well,
is kind of interesting, right? Like a British soccer
yeah,
club
it is interesting.
sponsoring a German or whatever team.
Right. Yeah, it is very interesting. But they probably wanted backing. They probably wanted backing from a football.
Well, I will
Probably
say though,
to
I
reach
think
more
Checo,
audience.
yeah, I
Yeah.
will say I think Checo was already there because if you see on the wing there, it says Telmex,
Yeah. So
and Claro is already on the car.
right. The
So
only thing that's not on
and
there.
NEC is on the car. No, Telcel is on the rear wing.
No, no.
See
What
it?
about Chelsea FC?
It's not there. It's hidden. You can see the mark.
Ah, okay, okay,
Come on, man. I'm confident. Sky
okay.
high. Come on,
Chelsea
you minute.
FC.
Come on, you Blues.
Hey. Okay, so it was Chelsea FC. So probably to reach more audience in Formula One.
Yeah, as if
But
they
yeah.
needed it.
Yeah, hey, that's great. That's great. Chelsea FC. We should poach more football clubs to sponsor to kind of payroll the sport. But yeah, okay, let's see. So, which F1 car is the only one to have closed wheel? I
Closed
think I know
wheel.
what this is. Okay, but
Part of me thinks it's the 196.
let's go through the the options here: the Maserati
Sure.
250F, the Ferrari 375 F1, the Lancia D50, and the Mercedes W96. I think I do know this one, and I do agree with you, Wes. It was the Mercedes because they were the first ones to figure out that a streamlined body makes you faster in a straight line. So I do agree with you. I think it is the Mercedes, and it is the Mercedes.
Look at that. That looks like something you could drive on the
It looks
street.
like Speed Racer's car. But yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, yeah. Great call, Wes. Great call. Okay, in 1999, F1 Bar Honda or BAR Honda released with very interesting livery. What is it? Is it the Lucky
Okay.
Strike livery? Ooh, the Lucky Strike 555 livery combined, Sonax, or the 555 livery? I do think, Wes, I do think it is the 555 livery. I do remember 555 getting into Formula One. What I don't know is if it was a combination of Lucky Strike or just the 555.
I feel like I've seen a
That
like that
combination,
so-called
right?
combination, right? Yeah, I think it's that a combination.
Okay, well,
And
let's
I
see.
think I think Honda, yeah,
Yeah, there you go. Wow. Okay. So wow,
half
they
half
literally
half
just
rally
split.
car,
Yeah,
half Formula One car.
they literally just split delivery down the middle, which is interesting. So yeah, good luck trying to tell that apart. But pop quiz,
And you
Wes.
know,
Do
it's
you
the
know? Do
funny
you know
thing.
who's driving?
99, BAR Honda.
By the way, yeah, his
I'm
helmet
guessing it's a
is.
Japanese driver.
It is not. It is. His helmet's very distinct. He's the only driver that I know of that has that color pattern.
Okay, as this guy in no, he's not. He's
I'll
not in
give you a
Formula
hint. He
One
wore the
today.
baggiest uh suits, like the baggiest, like what do you call it? Track suits for
Fire suits.
fire suits, right? He wore the
Baggies
baggiest one.
fire suits.
Yeah.
You sound like I should know this.
If I'm wrong and I'm mistaken, then everyone can roast me in the comments. But I
You know,
believe,
it's
yeah,
okay, Joy.
I
Just
believe
tell me.
that's Jacques Villeneuve, because I believe
Oh
that is his
wow,
helmet. Yeah, he's the only one that has
interesting.
that helmet design. So I think he did drive the BAR Honda. So yeah.
It's just interesting to Subaru's thing on a Formula One car. That's not Subaru.
All right. This is an interesting question. Has Lamborghini been part of Formula One? And it's
I think
literally just a yes or no. And I think it
I
is a
think it's
yes.
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 I think it's yes. Yeah.
I remember they what do you call it? They provided engines for a while. I think the V12 engines, and they weren't that reliable. Oh wow, there you go. So yes,
Or
Lamborghini has
Lola.
been part of Formula One, but has an engine supplier with Lola, and the LC92, racing under the team Lola Lamborghini. That's actually a really cool um, livery, Wes. I like that.
Yeah, no, it looks nice. And
It's very
Lola is actually
90s.
a big racing name, no
Right,
matter what.
right. Lola Beatrice back then. But yeah. So okay. So next question: which F1 teams haven't changed their names since entering Formula One? Uh, so Wes, I think we could cross out a lot of these. But the first one is Ron Tyrrell Lotus Honda. Second is Stewart Minardi Jaguar Tolman, and the third one is Renault Mercedes Red Bull Toro Rosso, and the fourth one is Ferrari Williams McLaren Haas. I
Oh,
think it's the fourth one.
it's a layup. Yeah.
It's the fourth one. We all they almost got us with Mercedes, Renault, Red Bull, Toro Rosso, but Toro Rosso is no longer Toro Rosso. And they are AlphaTauri. No, Ferrari, Williams, McLaren, Haas. Okay, next question. Which F1 driver is the only one who has won the Triple Crown of motorsport? First, first options. So here are the options that we have: Graham Hill, Sterling Moss, Fernando Alonso, and Michael Schumacher. Wes, I think you know this.
Is it I think it's Graham Hill.
Yeah, I think. I mean, there's only two choices here. Fernando Alonso is trying to get the Triple Crown, Michael Schumacher never really was interested in anything but Formula One. So Graham Hill or Sterling Moss. I do think it's Graham Hill. I don't think Sterling Moss was. Yeah, I don't think he was interested in Indy or World Endurance or what do you call it, Le Mans. So Graham Hill.
Endurance, I can see.
There you
Oh, well, there
go.
you go.
Graham
The
Hill.
triple
Wow.
crown of motorsport: Monaco, Le Mans, and Indianapolis.
Hey.
So Fernando Alonso has one in Monaco Grand Prix
He has one in
and
Monaco.
in Le Mans.
He has one
Yeah,
in Le
that's
Mans,
right.
and he needs one more.
He
The
needs
Indy
Indy, but
500.
Indy seems super difficult for
Yeah,
him.
it is. It seems like the closest he was, like the closest he's gotten was with McLaren, which is strange, with a Honda engine as well. So yeah, okay, cool. So in 1969, this F1 car had high safety standards, but never got into racing. What's the name of the car? Ooh, safety standards. Is it the Pininfarina, Ferrari Sigma, Fiat, or Sigma? I have no clue.
I think it's Sigma.
Sigma, just Sigma, not Ferrari Sigma, right?
No, not the
Yeah,
Ferrari
I don't
Sigma.
think Ferrari is really concerned. No, I'm just playing. But
Oh
okay,
boy.
I'll go with you. I'll go with you. Sigma. I've never heard of Pininfarina, so. Oh wow, it's actually Ferrari Sigma. Wow. Okay.
That's a very wide body.
Yeah. Okay. In 1969, Ferrari Sigma, constructor of the Pininfarina, based on Ferrari 312. It's weighed 590 kilograms and with a V12 engine. Is that safe?
Interesting.
Wait. Okay, cool.
Maybe for its time.
For its time, probably. It doesn't
Because
look safe.
because in 1969, you got guys getting sliced. Same with fans too, getting
Yeah, yeah,
burned. You
yeah,
know,
absolutely. But yeah, that's interesting. I never heard of a lot of these names. But yeah, okay, moving on. So, guess the missing logos and the driver name of the Lotus 72 multiple choices. So, we have Emerson Fittipaldi, Bridgestone, John Player Special, Goodyear, uh, Laurel Wreath on the
Wreath.
spoiler, Wreath on the spoiler, Texaco on the spoiler, Lotus logo, Ronnie Peterson, Texaco, Marlboro, Elf, Firestone, Ford, and Dunlop. So I do know who the driver is of this car. It's
It's
Emerson.
Emo, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
It's Emerson Fittipaldi. I'm not quite sure, Wes. Um, I do think John Player
John Player Special, because
should
those
be.
cars only came in black and gold.
Right, exactly.
I will say that the tires were Goodyear.
I do think it is Goodyear as well. But I do
Um,
think. Do you think they had Texaco?
I think so. Yes,
Is it
on the
Texaco on the
spoiler.
spoiler, or
Yeah,
Texaco
yeah.
just? Mm,
No, on the spoiler. I think it's on the spoiler.
okay, okay, and that should be it, right?
I would also say that
I don't think
I would like to think Elf was on there.
Elf. Okay,
Yeah, Elf. Yeah, and I think that's it.
okay, cool. I actually don't know what Elf is. I think that's isn't that a cigarette company?
Or even a fuel company. I'm not sure.
Right.
I know
I
John
know
Player Special is tobacco.
tobacco. Okay, cool. Let's see. Ooh, we were yeah, we had a lot missing, but we did get Emerson Fittipaldi right. John Player Special, Goodyear, Laurel Wreath on the spoiler, Lotus logo. We forgot the Lotus logo. Texaco, Firestone, and Ford. What? That's so weird. What a
Where's the
strange car.
Texaco?
Why would it be Ford and then no? But then again, we have Aston Martin, Red Bull Racing, Honda. Okay.
Hey, I mean, yeah.
Okay, cool. Moving on, and let's see. Cool. 4 world championships. How many world championships titles do each one have? Ooh. Okay. So there's a lot of things to say here, but like the first option, Nigel Mansell 1, Ayrton Senna 4, Alan Prost 4, Nelson Piquet 3. Second one is Alan Prost 4, Nigel Mansell 2, Nelson Piquet 3, Ayrton Senna 3. The third option is Nelson Piquet 2, Alain Prost 3, Nigel Mansell 1, and Ayrton Senna 3. And then the last one is Ayrton Senna 3, Nigel Mansell 1, uh, Alain Prost 4, and Nelson Piquet 3. Which one do you think it is, Wes?
I think it's Senna 3, Mansell 1, Prost 4, PK 3.
I do agree with you. I do think, yes. I remember, I know Alain Prost has 4. I know Mansell has 1. And I know Senna had 3. I just didn't know how many PK had. So I'll go with you.
It's a big name these days, PK.
Hey. There you go. So we got it right. But yeah, it's incredible that Nigel Mansell only has 1. But when you're racing against these 3, I mean,
Yeah,
there's
right.
not a lot you can win. So, but great job for just getting 1. You know, I'm pretty sure he's very proud of that one. But yeah, okay. So next question: Formula One, 2009 season, Braun GP shocked the F1 world by A. The team finished in 3rd place in the championship. B. Ross Braun buying Honda to create Braun GP for £1. C. Braun GP won the drivers and constructors championship. And D. Being bought by Ross Braun for £1 million. So that's, I mean, that should be.
It's B and C, isn't it?
Yes, I do think it's B and C. So yes, Ross Braun did buy it from Honda with £1 for £1, and they won the drivers and constructors championship. I miss those liveries, Wes.
Oh, I do too. I love bright green in general. Way before I started like digging into the history books of F1. But yeah, no, I remember Ross Braun saying how he bought that team for dirt cheap because it was in the middle of a global recession.
Yeah.
And Honda was more focused on saving their assets for their regular cars.
Okay. Yeah. It was a great documentary. Just the Braun story itself is incredible. I encourage anyone listening to watch Braun GP just as a story. But yeah. So next question, Wes. We'll probably do the next one, and then that'll be it. But
Yeah, it's quite
it's
quite
it's
long.
quite an intensive, extensive quiz. So so this would be the penultimate question. But we will. So the question is, which F1 team has participated in every season since Formula One was founded? I think that's pretty easy, but let's go through it. Mercedes, McLaren, Scuderia Ferrari, Williams, and Alfa Romeo. Wes?
Ferrari.
It is Ferrari. It's a Ferrari.
I actually got that line that I just said from Ford versus Ferrari.
Right.
There's like a scene where they introduce each other, and the Ferrari guys are just so pompous about themselves.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen Ford versus Ferrari, but I have seen, pretty much the documentary of Bruce McLaren versus Ferrari, and then I've seen, I mean, yeah, pretty much that. To me, that's the rivalry that I love. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Okay, so last question: Who delivered the surprise at Monza 2008? Is it 1, or is it A, Robert Kubica wins the race? B, Ferrari finishing 1-2. C, Vettel winning the race. And D, battle between Massa and Hamilton for first.
Grazie
2008.
ragazzi, Toro Rosso.
I do think,
Right?
yes. I agree. I think that was Vettel's first win, and that was Toro Rosso's first win. And in their home country.
Come on, man.
Yeah, that was correct. Yes, Sebastian Vettel did win the 2008 Monza Grand Prix. Well, Monza Grand Prix. But yeah, and then first win for the STR, achieving pole, fastest lap, and first place finish.
Dang, dude, that's how you know you're special. When you take a car that is lesser than everybody else on the grid
Everybody
for the
else.
most part, and you got pole, fastest lap, and first place finish.
That's insane.
Holy cow!
On a Toro Rosso, guys.
On a Toro Rosso, right?
So
And you beat the world champion that year,
yeah,
who was Hamilton, and then you also then, yeah, it's crazy. Like
yeah,
you basically grand slammed basically a guy who would end up beating you by a
yeah,
lot later. But
yeah, absolutely. And so Wes, uh, throughout all that, we had 6 incorrect,
how
which
many questions did we take?
ooh,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
23.
So we
So
17 out of 23.
that's not bad. That's a passing grade.
That's a pretty high clip
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, I think we're okay. You can trust our knowledge of Formula One
for the most part.
for the most part. But
It felt like it was getting easier towards the end.
yeah, because it was getting closer to us, to our era. But yeah, thank you for taking part of that,
74%.
Wes.
Yeah.
I'll
No,
take 74.
thank you for having me on this fun
Yeah,
stuff
we
segment.
actually,
That was actually pretty fun. I
I
learned a lot
actually,
about us as
yeah.
Formula One fans,
I think
and
we
we're actually not
know.
that bad.
Yeah, I think we actually know more than we think. So that's always a good problem. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the show. If you would like to take this quiz alongside with us or before us, so you don't, we don't spoil the answers, I will, put the link down below in the description. But yeah, Wes, any more things that you want to get off your chest?
No, I think this was probably one of the more funner episodes that we've had throughout the
Right.
life of the podcast. Not that every other episode was not fun, but hey, I'm happy to talk about Formula One week in, week out with you, Joy, favorite driver ever. Really, really, guys, we should all see Joy play the Formula One game. The guy is good. But yeah, I'm always happy to be with you, man, talking about our great sport.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me again, Wes. Thank you so much for listening to us. Wherever you guys are in the world, good night, good morning, and we will see you again on Friday. Thank you so much for listening.
Keep it on track.